How much of a resource has it been to have Connor, and just from a basketball standpoint, and how proud are you of him of getting that new role?
I'm super excited for him. Obviously his basketball knowledge is pretty good, and it makes it fun when you can bounce ideas off of each other. So yeah, I think just super proud. He worked super hard for that, and it'll be fun to go to those games. I love college basketball. Obviously he's been around it his whole life and really invested a lot into it. So I think it'll be fun.
Caitlin Clark's WNBA career and her sweet love life with boyfriend Connor McCaffery are on the rise. While she has shattered several all-time records in her rookie season with the Indiana Fever, Connor has leveled up too with a new job as the assistant coach for Butler University in Indiana. Having made their relationship public a year ago, Clark is no longer shying away from divulging little secrets from their relationship. And the latest update from the Iowa alum will only put a broad smile on your face. During an Indiana practice session on Tuesday, Caitlin Clark answered some questions from reporters. She shared how their late-night plans mostly include going to the gym for some shooting competitions. She said with a chuckle,
having some shooting competitions, it gets a little heated. I definitely outshoot him way more than he outshoots me, but
Clark let some more walls down as she expressed gratitude for Connor's support.
Yeah, I think more than anything, though, he's just very supportive and kind of lets me do my thing, and that's something I really appreciate about him, is just his support and his passion for basketball. But
however, she also revealed how Connor doesn't blindly agree with her ideas.
And his passion for basketball, but I mean, if I definitely have an idea, it's good to bounce it off him, and he's very honest. He definitely tells me when I'm wrong, too, and that's something I appreciate as well.
Connor, whom Clark described as selfless and loving in a birthday post for him in July, worked as a development coordinator for the NBA's Indiana Pacers before this new coaching gig. The couple met in Iowa, both playing for the Hawkeyes. That chapter has turned into a full-fledged novel as their relationship advances, with a shared love for basketball as the foundation. The power couple started dating in April 2023 before Caitlin Clark announced it to the world 4 months later in August. She posted a short carousel on Instagram where she was nestled in Connor's arms on a boat on a lake. "Best end of summer," read the caption as her fans found a new obsession. After that, her Instagram feed was back to basketball and sponsored posts before she wholeheartedly celebrated their anniversary in April, captioned, "1 year of the best memes of my fav person, you make every day better, and I can't wait for many more adventures together. Love you."
What did you wake up to?
Jack!
You're still alive? You weren't responding to any of my questions in the live.
Sorry, they come so fast.
Yeah, it's hard.
Oh, it was, I just kept saying her Angel Reese 1 through 10.
Oh, you're so dumb.
Shit, probably Brittany Griner.
I don't know.
See, she prefers to be called Pops instead of Mom.
And? To who calls her Pops?
Her kids.
She just had
Oh, I thought you meant just like by friends. Jack.
Hey, drop your comments in the chat about Brittany Griner, guys.
You don't have to.
Did we forward or no? We traded the shooter for a big? Yes, we traded. Only real ones. We traded the Russian arms dealer for her.
Jack.
Russian mafia boss.
During the WNBA All-Star Game, the tension between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese seemed to ease briefly. However, Clark's boyfriend's brother, Jack McCaffery, reignited the drama. Now, his family can't stop talking about Reese. In a surprising TikTok live session, Jack McCaffery made some awkward comments about Angel Reese and other WNBA star. He joked, "You guys weren't responding to any of my questions," and asked viewers to rate Reese's looks from 1 to 10. Then he made an inappropriate joke about Griner's sexuality and a careless comment about her time in detention in Russia. That didn't go over well. This controversy has made things even more intense for Clark, who seems unaffected by the criticism of his comments. Critics note that while she is friendly with Reese, her silence about Connor's hurtful remarks shows a troubling lack of awareness. Meanwhile, she's enjoying a sunny vacation in Mexico, posting swimsuit photos and having a good time while the drama continues. Meanwhile, Reese, dubbed the Chi-Town Barbie, is navigating her own European vacation, showcasing her style and charisma despite the drama back home. While the two may have entered the WNBA Olympic break on good terms, the external tensions have brought back memories of their heated NCAA rivalry. In a surprising turn, Patrick McCaffery, Connor's younger brother, has been appearing often in Clark's social media. They have been friends since before she started dating Connor, and their friendship is still going strong. After a great home win against the Dallas Wings, Clark posted on Instagram, Indy. Patrick quickly commented, "Like this if CC is your Rookie of the Year, these votes count for the award," encouraging fans to like the post if they think Clark should be Rookie of the Year. Every vote matters. Caitlin Clark is clearly a top candidate for Rookie of the Year. She has played a key role in getting her team to the playoffs, which is impressive given their rough start to the season. Her strong performances have also raised the profile of women's basketball, largely due to her heated rivalry with Angel Reese during their college years. As the season went on, Reese and Clark found themselves in competition again. Clark's strong performances have made her a fan favorite, while Reese, averaging 13.6 points and 13.1 rebounds per game, shows her talent and determination. Even though the McCaffery family may support Clark, it's clear that Reese is a powerful player who can't be ignored. Clark and McCaffery's romantic journey began in April 2023, but they didn't make it public until 4 months later when Clark shared a cozy photo of the two on a boat. "Best end to summer," she captioned the post, setting the stage for their budding relationship. Fast forward to January 2024, when Connor posted a heartfelt tribute to Clark on her 22nd birthday. "Wish I was there to celebrate with you. You deserve the best day," he wrote, showcasing his admiration for her accomplishments. Little did they know, Clark was on the brink of making history. Just a month later, she became the all-time leading scorer in NCAA women's basketball, surpassing Kelsey Plum's record of 3,527 points. It was a monumental achievement that solidified her legacy in the sport. In a sweet gesture, Clark also celebrated Connor on his 26th birthday in July 2024, expressing her gratitude for having such a loving partner in her life. "Celebrating you is easy," she wrote. "Thankful to have someone as selfless and loving as you. May this be the year you finally find a way to outshoot me. Love you always." Clark and Connor's friendship blossomed long before their romance. Connor revealed to the Times-Union that they were always friends first, having developed strong relationships with the women's basketball team during their college years. It's safe to say the McCaffery family is all in on the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. As Clark rises to stardom in the WNBA, Connor is forging his own path in coaching. Following a year with the Indiana Pacers, he's heading to the Butler Bulldogs, and Clark couldn't be more thrilled. She shared the news on her Instagram, exclaiming, "Yay! So happy for you." What makes this even more exciting is that Patrick will also be joining the Butler Bulldogs for his final NCAA eligibility year. From being a student at the University of Iowa to completing his last year under the guidance of his brother, he'll get to spend more time with Clark. As the drama unfolds and the rivalries heat up, one thing is clear. The basketball connection between Caitlin Clark and Connor McCaffery is tugging at the heartstrings of fans everywhere. With Angel Reese continuing to make waves in the league, the story of these athletes promises to be anything but dull. Stay tuned for what comes next in this thrilling saga.
Us here with Pacers Sports and Entertainment. Travel home safely. Go Fever!
Picture this. It's Friday night, the Fever are battling it out on the court, and who do we spot courtside? None other than Connor McCaffery, Caitlin's man, sitting pretty next to Pacers superstar Tyrese Halliburton. But here's where it gets wild. Connor, who's not just arm candy but actually works for the Pacers, went absolutely bonkers supporting his girl. We're talking standing ovations, wild cheering, the whole 9 yards. According to the Indy Star's Chloe Peterson McCaffery, along with Halliburton, stood up to applaud for every major Fever play. Before the game started, McCaffery made it clear that he was also a huge fan of Clark's pregame outfit. He posted a photo of his girlfriend on his Instagram stories with the ahem emoji. McCaffery, who celebrated his 1-year anniversary with Clark last April, continues to be huge pillar of support for rookie phenom. The 22-year-old posted a heartfelt message to McCaffery for his birthday in July. Clark wrote to the former Iowa Hawkeye on Instagram, "Celebrating you is easy. Thankful to have someone as selfless and as loving as you in my life." May this be the year you finally find a way to outshoot me. Love you always. Wednesday was another historic night in the WNBA for Indiana Fever rookie Caitlin Clark. She became the 5th player in WNBA history to record 2 triple-doubles in a season while beating the Los Angeles Sparks, 93-86, in Indiana. The rookie recorded 24 points, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds, shooting 47.1% from the field. After her elite-level performance against the Sparks, Clark was seen meeting with a few upper-echelon fans on the sideline. She met with NBA star Tyrese Halliburton and shared a moment with her boyfriend, Connor McCaffery. Both McCaffery and Halliburton were seen sitting together courtside. During the game, Clark became the fastest in WNBA history to record 100-plus three-pointers made. She's been sensational in her first year in the league. Fans anticipate the rookie breaking records in every game. Clark's skills as a scorer and as playmaker have helped open doors for the Fever. She leads the league in average assists, which has elevated the play of stars Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell finished the win over LA with 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Boston had one of her best games of the season with 24 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists.
Just obviously now you're used to all the hype and everything like that. But when you go to all these cities, you go to see the stadiums and you see so many people wearing Clark jerseys or shirts and stuff. What's that feel like to you? And kind of just, how's that like?
Yeah, I think it's fun for myself but I think a lot of these cities that we're still going to now is like kind of my second time. So I know what to expect, what the venue's like, but the crowds, that's never something that gets old or something that you get used to. It's super fun for myself. And, every place is still really different and unique in their own way. We're just in Minnesota and now we're here in Atlanta and it's just, as the arenas are different. I felt like the last time we were here, there was like a lot of just basketball fans, like a lot of people that really appreciate the game and understand the game and wanted to support the game of basketball, especially women's basketball. So, I expect the same. And, for myself, like it's really fun getting to see young kids in your jersey or whoever it is and you're trying to take some time to interact with them.
Caitlin, you've hit some recent milestones and you ended the night with 81 and made 3-pointers, which trails the Dream's Ryan Howard, who had 85 in 2022 for most made 3-pointers by a rookie. What's your perspective when you hit these milestones and that you could hit another one here tonight in Atlanta against the Dream, against Ryan Howard?
Yeah, I mean, usually not something you're really aware of until it happens, I guess. And, obviously Ryan had a really good rookie season and she was somebody I played with when I was in high school and she was in college on Team USA, on our U19 team. So, I know her pretty well and how talented she is. So it's definitely really cool. But, I think it just comes with playing the game the right way. Especially playing offense the right way. I think our offenses continue to start to flow a little bit more, has opened up some looks for myself along with my teammates. So, just continuing to do that, I think is going to be really important for this group.
Caitlin, Coach Size has done a lot to bring the team together. Like I've seen you play baseball and all kind of different initiatives to kind of bring the team together. Have you seen those things translate on the court?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not going to really translate anything skill-wise, but I think having good relationships with your teammates is super important. I think sometimes that can be hard to do at the pro level. Something that's very kind of easy in college. That's who you're kind of stuck with for 4 years. Obviously things are a little different now with the transfer portal, but I think in the pro level, you don't always have one time to build those relationships. Like you're professionals, you're trying to go about your business and do all the right things. And, I think it was a good break for us. Obviously the Olympic break, having that time where we had most of our team together and being able to do some fun stuff away from basketball where the environment's loose and it's fun and you kind of get to know your teammates better and their personalities. And, I think maybe it doesn't really need to be on a deep level, but those fun, whether it's, playing baseball or putt-putt or whatever it is, those are fun activities that you get to share with your teammates and be competitive. And, I think it definitely helps grow relationships from that standpoint.
Hey, Caitlin, you all haven't played the Dream since late June. What are some of the things that have been different that you've seen from the Dream, since that last time?
Yeah, well, I think both teams are very different in the ways that they play. Obviously, the injuries that they had, I think they're starting 2 or 3 different people differently than what we played them when we played them in June. So, you can go back and watch that film and watch some of what they did, but, you try to watch more recently of what they've done. They're really good in transition. They have really good, ISO players that are really good one-on-one. So you're going to have to be able to guard your man. But I think our team defense is going to be very important. I think we kind of we're a step behind versus Minnesota. And that's not something we can do tonight. Is like, we really got to pull over in rotations and be there for our teammates, because they have some very talented players on this team. But, I think they're running some different sets as well too on the offensive end, and being much more intentional in that action. So just preparing for that too.
Caitlin, how do you describe where you are now as opposed to the start of your rookie season? You've had the break. You've had a couple of wins now after the break. How do you feel now as far as the mental and the physical aspects of getting the leadership and your legs and your mind together for this second half run?
I'm just trying to take it game by game. I feel the best I've probably felt all year long from a comfortability standpoint, but also from, just how my body feels and understanding the game and everything like that. I still feel like I'm learning every single day, and I still feel like there's just so many areas for me to continue to improve. And, I think that's the most exciting part for myself. And I think also for our team, you still find areas where we kind of have a lapse. And that was the case versus Minnesota, where I think Christy broke it down, and in about like 6 minutes of gameplay, we gave up like 30 some points. So it's like those little margins, you can't make those mistakes versus these teams. It really costs you. You can maybe give it up one time where they go on a little run, but you can't give up 2 or 3 runs. It's really hard to recover from that. So, I think just continuing to push myself and be a good leader and find my voice too. Obviously that can be hard at times as a rookie and as a point guard, but that's something that's going to be very important for this team down the stretch. And, every single game is going to be very important for us. And you see this one's especially important.
Good. Last one on Zoom. Matt, want to go ahead?
Caitlin, just to kind of follow up on the end of your last response, the Dream are only 2.5 games out behind you guys, so tonight's going to be important for playoff positioning. Has that been a message that you and your teammates have been kind of internalizing in the lead up to tonight?
I don't think that's not a conversation that we've honestly had. I think everybody's aware. It doesn't really need to be spoken. If you are following the league, it's very evident of, what it is. And obviously the playoffs are where we want to be, and we know how close that race is going to be. So, every single game is important, no matter who you're playing, whether people are, have already clinched their playoff spot, whether they might not even make the playoffs. Every single game is going to be important for us down the stretch. And, I think every person in our locker room knows that. But I think we're just trying to go one game at a time. Even if you lose game, not all is lost. Obviously we come into every game with a mentality to win, but, this is very tough league. We understand that and we know that. And I feel like we're playing good basketball right now. So just continuing to try to carry that through this.
The WNBA playoffs are right around the corner, and tensions are higher than ever. Teams are battling it out for those crucial playoff spots, and every game counts. It's in this high-stakes atmosphere that ESPN decided to drop some bombshells about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever.
This is what the WNBA standings look like right now. 7 of the top 8 teams have clinched their playoff appearance. Number 8 is still very much up for grabs. The teams that you see 8 through 11 could all end up in that final spot. LA is no longer eligible for the playoffs.
Now, before we jump into the juicy details, let's set the scene. As you can see from these standings, the WNBA playoffs are right around the corner, and tensions are higher than ever. Teams are battling it out for those crucial playoff spots, and every game counts. It's in this high-stakes atmosphere that ESPN decided to drop some bombshells about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. But here's where things get interesting. When you actually listen to what the ESPN analysts are saying, it's like they're reading from a completely different script. Instead of the hate fest we were expecting, we're hearing nothing but praise for Clark and her team. Talk about a plot twist.
Well, I think the New York Liberty, y'all, they are in a do or die situation. I think it's their year. I like the way that they are playing. They've got 4 players that are scoring double digits. Sabrina Ionescu is having a fantastic year in terms of taking the next leap in her game. And frankly, due to contracts, if they don't get it done this year, I'm not sure how that's going to go as you look forward in terms of the future of this organization.
Let's break down what's really going on here. The ESPN panel, featuring experts like Monica and Carolyn, start off by discussing the current WNBA standings. As you just heard, they're all business talking about which teams have clinched playoff spots and who's still fighting for that last coveted position. But then something unexpected happens.
In the bottom half, I think that Indiana is a problem. Yeah. And the way that they are playing as of late, when you look at the numbers of what Caitlin Clark...
When asked about the most dangerous team in the lower playoff seeds, Carolyn doesn't hesitate for a second. She points straight to the Indiana Fever, and guess who's at the center of her praise? That's right, Caitlin Clark herself. Now, if ESPN was really hating on Clark, you'd expect them to downplay her abilities or focus on her weaknesses. But that's not what we're hearing at all. Instead, Carolyn goes on a full-blown hype train for Clark and the Fever.
Has done her improvement in how she has adjusted to the speed of the game, and her players have gotten used to playing with her. She knows how to lay it out on a dime.
She's practically gushing about Clark's improvement since joining the league and how she's adapted to the pro game's speed. But wait, it gets even better. Carolyn starts breaking down Clark's game in detail, and let me tell you, it's nothing short of glowing.
Her court vision is impeccable, and now her teammates are ready to catch the ball. They trust she's going to get it where it needs to be. But y'all, the favorite part of my game from Caitlin Clark is this behind the back pass. Come on now. I love it.
Just look at that behind the back pass. Carolyn calls it out specifically, saying how much she loves seeing Clark pull off this flashy yet effective play. Now, if you're like me, you're probably scratching your head at this point. Where's all this supposed hate we were promised? Because all I'm hearing is an ESPN analyst absolutely raving about Caitlin Clark's skills and impact on the game.
Two of those highlights, I believe, were a Clark-Boston connection. Those two have been the second best scoring duo in the league behind A'ja Wilson and Jackie Young. It has been so incredibly efficient.
But the Clark Love Fest doesn't end there. The panel goes on to discuss how Clark has developed an incredible on-court connection with her teammate, Aaliyah Boston. They point out that this dynamic duo has become the second best scoring tandem in the entire league. The only pair that's outscoring them, A'ja Wilson and Jackie Young, who are absolute powerhouses in their own right. That's some elite company Clark is keeping, and ESPN is making sure everyone knows it. What's really interesting is how the analysts talk about the chemistry between Clark and her teammates. They mention that Clark's teammates have gotten used to playing with her unique style. They trust that when Clark has the ball, she's going to find them in the perfect spot for a score. That's not just good basketball. That's leadership and team building at its finest.
The numbers bear it out. They've been on terrific tears since the All-Star break, but it also looks like they're playing with joy. They are gelling and having fun.
The panel even goes as far as to say that the Fever are playing with joy and gelling and having fun. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that doesn't sound like criticism to me. It sounds like ESPN is painting a picture of a team that's coming together at just the right time, with Caitlin Clark as the catalyst for their success.
Kelsey Mitchell, 25 points a game in August, had 25 in her game in September. You better watch out for her. And Lexi Hall in the starting lineup. That's a defender they need.
So fun to watch right now.
But here's where things get really interesting. The analysts aren't just focusing on Clark's offensive prowess. They're quick to point out how her presence on the court is making her teammates better. They specifically mention Kelsey Mitchell, who's been on an absolute tear lately, averaging 25 points per game in August. And let's not forget about Lexi Hall, who's been making waves in the starting lineup with her defensive skills.
I thought we could have came out with a little more energy. I thought we seemed a little bit flat. And I don't think that wasn't because of we felt complacent with already being in the playoffs or anything like that. I'm just not sure if our energy was quite where it needed to be. And I thought we could have picked that up a little bit better. We weren't always on the same page, and I think that kind of started from the beginning. We didn't really play with as much pace as we usually do. At moments, we definitely did, but I didn't think it was consistent throughout the game. And then obviously we could have taken care of the ball a little bit better. I think, we win by 10 to 15, maybe even more than that if we just take better care of the ball. So I think something you go back and watch, and on Friday we got to come out with a lot more energy.
We go low, then we'll go on the back to Don.
Last week, Coach was talking about the improvement of the team that she cited. Toughness and maturity has come out in the last month since the Olympic break and those practices. Do you feel like this fourth quarter was an example of that, where you got challenged, you made some runs, but you couldn't put them away, but you had to fight them off again?
I think in the course of the season, it's about making sure that we're able to close out games. There were some games that we lost at the beginning of the season because our fourth quarter wasn't great, and so even going into this fourth quarter, you just emphasize that, listen, this is the fourth quarter, 10 more minutes, we have to give it all our best. We knew that they weren't just going to lay down and let us take the game, and so just making sure that if they score, then we have to score and they get a stop, and that's really our mindset, especially in that fourth quarter.
Go down, then we'll go with Keem on the right.
For both of you, just 6 straight home games, including tonight, to get that homestand started off with a win, knowing how well you played already the second half. Crazy environment every night here. How's that feel to get that homestand started out right, knowing that you're just going to be here at home for so long?
I think it's important. These are games you really need to win at home, and the more we can win, the better we can position ourselves for the playoffs. So, and also we're just a competitive group of individuals. Like, nobody wants to lose. That's not fun, especially in front of these fans. That a lot of them, like, you know, they only get to see the Fever play one time. They spend a lot of money to come here and watch us and have fun with us. So, you know, you want to kind of give them a show every single time we're in here. And honestly, it's a lot of fun. So. Don't take that for granted, because before we know it, the season will be over, and I think this team is just trying to go one game at a time. But to get the homestand started off on the right note, I think was super important, and it's just continuing to go one step at a time and continue to build that confidence. But I feel like we're playing really good inside this building, so it's just continuing to build on that.
Go to Keem, then we go to James again.
And just kind of following up on Kristen's question earlier, just when the turnovers start to kind of mount and build, what is said, or what do you guys do to kind of refocus and get back on the same page?
We get straight to it. We say we need to take care of the ball. I feel like that's as simple as it is. We know what we have to do, and most of the times it's silly mistakes, so making sure that we just pay attention, make sure that we're ready for it, but at the end of the day, like, just take care of the ball, make a good decision with it.
We go James, and we go on Zoom.
Caitlin played 40 minutes tonight, entire game. Obviously, probably wasn't the plan, but how do you assess how you feel throughout the game? And do you ever ask to come out, or how did that go?
No, I like sprinting. I already told you guys. I don't know. Like, I feel like finding a balance of when to conserve my energy within the game and playing with pace at the same time. I think there's times where you can pick and choose. I think I've done better at that, and I think even over the last stretch, the coaches found good minutes where I could get a quick breather that becomes very important, especially in the fourth. But I felt tonight, I felt really good and could go the whole stretch, but it's never really, they don't really ask me. It's not really my choice. It's more so they know what they're thinking and what we need in the moment. So, yeah, I mean, I could probably go play another 40 minutes. I don't usually like to stop, so.
Go George on Zoom, then we'll finish with Mike.
George Goy from the Just Take Goy Sports Podcast. Caitlin, many rookies struggle to find both team and individual success in a rookie year. LeBron, Peyton Manning, and Connor Bedard did not make the playoffs in their rookie season. What does it mean to have team and rookie individual success?
I think it comes with just playing the game of basketball the right way. You know, coming in here, obviously, this organization hasn't been to the playoffs since 2016, and that was my main goal. And I felt like, you know, once I got comfortable and kind of was, I don't know, playing style of basketball that we wanted to play, which was up-tempo, which was playing off one another, was playing, you know, setting my teammates up for success. And I think also once my teammates kind of got used to playing with me, it's been pretty smooth sailing and fun basketball since then. And, you know, everything besides team success, like, that all just comes with when your team wins. You got to win to have all that on the side, and nobody really cares about that. You know, people can talk about it. It is what it is. For me, it's fun winning basketball games. It's fun walking off the court and the crowd's going crazy because you just won and you played a good game. So for me, like, that's where my main focus is. And I think when I do that, everything else comes along with it. And I'm just thankful. I feel like I'm surrounded by really good people, really good coaches, really good teammates that allow me to be myself and set me up for success and have a lot of fun playing with me. So I've enjoyed every single second of it. And, you know, I think we're just going to continue to get better.
Last one, Mike Lopel.
Yeah, thank you. Caitlin, I just want to ask you a little bit about the defensive aspect of your game. Obviously, a lot of your rebounds are going to come on that end. You had 9 of them tonight on the defensive end, and then 3 steals, including that one late. But how much do you feel like you've grown as a defensive player, and how that part of your game you feel like is really coming along?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm a pretty good on-ball defender. It's just the off-ball that I need to continue to work on. Sometimes I get caught, you know, watching my man, or don't always rotate in the way that I need to. I get caught standing a little bit. The rotations are very different than what I did in college, so I think it's still been kind of a learning process for me, and I continue to go back and watch the film with Coach Jesse and continue to learn. So I think that's just the biggest area that I can improve is definitely my off-ball defense, but honestly, I think I just try to use my basketball IQ and understanding angles to make plays for my team on that end and try to get deflections. You know, and the one that happened late where we had to end up switching, I knew that was going to be the play just because coming off a ball screen, I come off a million ball screens, and AB wasn't letting her take the mid-range jump shot, so I knew she was going to try to dump it down to Hamby. So I tried to, cut it off and get my hand on the ball, and I was able to, and then Liz kind of picked it up. So I think just trying to use my IQ and my length and my speed at the same time, but I think the biggest area I can still improve is definitely my off-ball defense.
Caitlin Clark is an underdog. Serena told Caitlin Clark,
I just love that she tries to stay grounded, and she says she doesn't, what did she say? She doesn't have a social, she doesn't look at her social, and I get it. I don't either. And I think it's so important to continue to do what she's doing, and no matter what other people do, then if people are negative, it's because they can't do what you do.
Angel Reese's strategy of padding her stats has become concerning. She keeps increasing her numbers even in games that are already decided and out of reach.
this is Angel Reese. Watch this clip. She says the following. Go ahead and play it. She needs a lot of attention. Go ahead.
We watching women's basketball. It's not just because of one person. It's because of me too. And I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person.
We don't get to say, well, Joe Rogan is number one and we are important too, because of, that's not how podcasting competition works. You know who tells you you're good? The flipping market tells you you're good. By the way, you know when's the last time I watched a WNBA game? Never. Till today. I've still not watched a WNBA game.
Her latest game against the Indiana Fever clearly shows this trend. Despite the Fever having a strong lead, Reese remained on the court, focused on boosting her double-double stats. With the Fever's key players on the sidelines, she made the most of the opportunity by scoring and grabbing rebounds against their substitutes.
Angel Reese is playing against Caitlin Clark, okay? They have this big game going on. Neither one of them are the best teams in the league, but she gets fouled, Caitlin Clark does, and this is how Angel Reese, who she became a champion, by the way, in college. I think she won the championship. Caitlin Clark in the championship.
Exactly, 2 years ago.
However, for whatever reason, the audience likes watching Caitlin more because she's more exciting than Angel. But watch what she says after the way she fouls Caitlin Clark. Go ahead and play this clip.
For inside, I think we were playing really hard. I think we went up really strong a lot of times, and we didn't get a lot of calls. And going back and looking at the film, I've seen a lot of calls that weren't made. I guess some people got a special whistle.
Reese ended the game with 10 points and 11 rebounds, but how she achieved those numbers has raised concerns among fans and analysts. Dwyane Wade openly called her out for padding her stats during meaningless moments of the game, angering those who viewed it as poor sportsmanship. His comments sparked a debate over whether Reese's double-double streak is truly legitimate. At the same time, Caitlin Clark's outstanding performance, leading the Fever to a dominant win with 31 points and 12 assists, has been largely overshadowed by the controversy around Reese's tactics.
One thing Caitlin Clark does maybe better than anybody in sports right now, makes it about others, makes it about team. Think about it. When's the last time you didn't see Caitlin Clark talking about a teammate? When's the last time you saw Caitlin Clark talking about herself or any of the accomplishments that she has had? Let me give you the answer to that. Never! Never! You never hear that. Now, that's why their team has gotten good. She could have been an egomaniac. Everybody in the league knows that she is the league right now.
Instead of focusing on Clark's accomplishments, much of the conversation has turned to Reese's questionable stat padding tactics. As the WNBA season progresses, it's uncertain whether Angel Reese will keep padding her stats in blowout losses, or if she'll take a more sportsmanlike approach and concentrate on helping her team get better.
Those Sky are falling off the map in the second half of the season. Why? Well, they got a star, right? Everybody tells me Angel Reese is an absolute star. Look at all the double-doubles. Oh, my God. Well, Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky have made it about Angel Reese, not about the Chicago Sky. Even last night, if you look at it, what they have? Barbie night. We're giving out towels, blah, 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 blah. And when you see Angel Reese, what does she do? She's walking in with look at me outfits. It's about me. When you see Caitlin Clark, what do you see? It's about we. Angel Reese is coming off. Hey, look, won the national championship 1 year, got to the Final Four. The next really successful career, but like most that come in the WNBA, nobody cared. So Angel Reese is coming in, and she's swimming upstream two ways. One, her team's not very good. Two, she's second fiddle to the little white girl over here, Caitlin Clark. And that pisses her off. On the second half of the season and the second half of this game, the team that was more together, was clearly the Indiana Fever, and the Indiana Fever routed.
One thing is clear. Her actions have sparked a meaningful conversation about fairness and respect in professional basketball. You wouldn't see the Chicago Sky having Elena intentionally foul just to get more free throw points. or asking Tina Charles to do the same. And you certainly wouldn't find Teresa Weatherspoon leaving a player in just to pad their stats when the game is already decided. Honestly, it gives the Sky an unprofessional image.
I think there's some people, first of all, I think it's jealousy. I don't want to get in, there's a lot of articles out there that are using the R word and talking about this. I think it is pure, unadulterated jealousy. And the last clip from Angel Reese, they're watching me too. They're watching me too. It's like she's begging us to believe in her validation. Whereas the numbers, words talk, Angel, numbers scream, and the numbers are screaming that the fans are coming for her.
Consider the moment when Aaliyah Boston received a technical foul just before halftime. Heading into the third quarter, if you're the coach trying to win, who do you pick to shoot the free throws? Lindsay Allen? Rachel Banham? Wrong. Teresa Weatherspoon chooses Angel Reese, highlighting the team's lack of seriousness and damaging their credibility. It's no surprise Kalia Copper, Kennedy Carter, Marina Mabry, Dana Evans, and Camila Cardoso are eager to leave. Some players just want to play the game, not chase podcast fame, influencer deals, or acting roles.
Should there be a co-rookie of the year? Because Angel Reese is, of course, doing historical things with her double-doubles as a rookie, and Caitlin Clark already has set 1 million records and looks completely unstoppable, especially when it comes to dishing. And it feels like we are both on the same page here. No.
Some athletes in the WNBA are there to excel in their game. Instead of refining her free throws, working on post moves, or improving her mid-range shot, Angel Reese seems more interested in starring in commercials. After watching most of the Chicago Sky games and every Indiana Fever matchup, it's clear that Reese's double-doubles aren't contributing much to the team's success or morale. The focus seems to be on ensuring she hits her stats, even if it hurts team chemistry.